trading day. It's Wednesday, it's August, it's the 4th, and I'm really happy to have you here in our morning briefing show presented by Admirals. And I'm your host, Markus Gabel, with my moderator in the back, and a wonderful good morning, and thanks for your daily support. So I hope you had a great start into this day with wonderful and lovely trades. And we can talk about today. And you know, we stream this show on YouTube live. So if you watch it on YouTube here right now, or maybe later, then you can subscribe the channel, the right button, or you can give us a like if you want. And feel free to ask whatever is in your mind here live on YouTube. I can see it here. Vladimir, good morning. Olaf, wonderful, good morning. Arne too. And of course, here you can ask your questions right now here in the Zoom or on YouTube. Okay, so let's share my screen. Yes, let's share screen. So here we go. And first of all, let's see the chat. Thomas, wonderful, good morning. And the participants I can see too here right now. Okay, as always, you know, we have our daily routine, which means let's have a look at the news. So morning briefing news means that's the current, let's see if this is the last news. Right now, top news. Yes, BNP Paribas had good news. Then Bayer had good news. MasterCard had good news. Okay, that's the old one. Let's see what is on the plate for today. Here on the news, at the first glance. So Facebook cuts off access, and news about Walt Disney, livestock, top stories of the day. All of that you will find on the homepage of admiralmarkets.com/analytics. So here, what do we expect today with the upcoming events? To be honest, for us as traders, as swing traders, nothing really important. About the DAX, maybe could be interesting. The Eurozone service PMI today at 10 German time. And half an hour later, UK comes up with some interesting PMI data. And this afternoon, the ADP National Employment Report. You know, we expect the absolute employment report on Friday. And then the business service PMI and weekly, the oil status report this afternoon. So, you know, we have open trades in oil, so we must be a little bit carefully. But we made money already with oil, with a great trend. You know, it's always the best to stick to the rules. Alexander, wonderful. Good morning. Okay, so let's go right now to the charts. But just a quick thing. If you want to follow Admirals on Instagram, you can do that on Admirals Global, by the way. But I want to show you something, because I have, unfortunately, a lot of fake accounts on Instagram. Please, guys, this is my only one and only official account. It's official Markus Gabel. No dot in between, nothing others. Just this is my official account. And that was my last post from Mr. Andre Costolani. I cannot tell you how to get rich quickly, but I can only tell you how to get poor quickly by trying to get rich quickly. Very logical sentence, and I love this guy, because that's what's really smart. So be focused on sticking to the rules. Yes, and that's the good idea to follow Admiral Global. So please be aware. I will never get in touch to you by cryptos or by a private message or something else. I will never do that. So if you have any contacts by Markus Gabel or something else, and someone gives you an offer about cryptos, it's not me. Please report it immediately. Or if you see an account, we have the same problem with Admirals Global, for example. There's a connection, or sometimes Admiral Markets and Markus Gabel. That's not me. Okay, please report it to Instagram or in Facebook, the same. And if you are not sure, please get in touch with me directly and ask me, and then I can help you. Okay, unfortunately, that's the dark side of internet, of online. That's really bad guys try to copy the good guys and want to trick you out to get your money. So please, 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 in heaven's sake, be careful with that. Okay, ask before you do something. So here we go. First of all, let's see the DAX, and it was a mixed trade because we were really patient the last days. And as you can see here, we reached the point 2. So the hit quote was fulfilled there. So what do you think? Type in the chat box. You see, I made partial profits, and with the rest, I got out here. So do you think it was a mistake, or what do you think I could make better next time? So type in the chat box. Was it a mistake, or what I can do better next time? Because this is for me a zero game. Little bit small loss, but just more a zero game. What do you think? What do you think about this next trade? I got in, stuck to the rules, by the way. I reached my first partial profits by 0.2. With the rest, I got out at the last 0.3. So what do you think? Was it correct, or could I make something better with that? What do you think? So you can criticize me right now. Now it's your chance. Give it to me. What do you think? So you have time to type in the text. Trend broken was correct. Okay, cool. Thank you. So feel free. Whatever is in your mind. Darius, wonderful, good morning. So feel free, whatever is in your mind. Maybe soft stop. I can see here. Maybe earlier out. So in my opinion, I could make it better. Yeah. Looks like you didn't take stop loss to entry. Exactly. Yeah. So the point is what you have, what can make, but this is a kind of working style. It's not rules. Yeah. So it's a kind of working style that maybe you say after I reach my probability quote, my hit quote, and in that point, it's 0.2, then I trail the stop loss into the profit. So you cannot lose money anymore. So it's a kind of working style. So both things are correct, because as long as the trend will not break, it's always possible, even you have a young trend, or especially you have a young trend, that you see a trend continuation to the lower side. Both things are possible. So it's a kind of working style. It's not a part of the rules. Okay, but if you think a bit of logically, then it's a good idea, a better kind of working style to use after to reach the first target to trail the stop loss into profit. Because if you get out and the trend or the rules are still there and they fit already, you can make a second part, you can make a second entry or a re-entry. So basically it was not wrong, because the entry was perfect, almost perfect. Then we make partial profits, and then the stop loss was at that last 0.3. On the technical side, it was correct. On a working style side, it's better if you trail the stop loss into profit after you reach the first target. Because it makes not always sense to have a zero game or to make a small loss after you reach the first target. But it's kind of working style, okay? So that's the point. So, and with a soft stop, yes, if you have a soft stop there, then you get out a little bit higher, then you have a zero game too. So it's about the chart, you know, that you understand it's not a rule, it's just a kind of working style. Okay, so what do we have now in index? Is there another trend right now? Yes, of course. We have an uptrend right now. So we can delete this. So where is the trend right now? So first, you see, we started a new one with movement, correction, move. But there was a trend break. So this is not the trend, which means we have to draw it from there lowest point. Where is the first correction? This is a bit of this one. And here the correction. And now we are in the move, which means we have it in focus because the next correction is ours. The next correction is ours to make a long trend right now. So keep an eye on it on the next 10 minutes. Next correction we have to use to go long. So let's have a look at the hourly charts. You know, we have a bit in focus. This is gold. We have in hourly chart, we trade, it's kind of daily trading to day trading too. Dow Jones, oil, gold, and Euro USD. It's on focus. So yesterday we prepared this trade. We have an open trade because that's the trend. So we started at the lowest point, movement, correction, big move, and that's the first possible correction. So there was a duty after you had this balance candle here to speculate that we reach the point 2 here. There's the point 2. It's $1,831. So that's the target. Okay. So let it go. Probability is 86% that we go up to this last point 2. So then I have an open position in oil. And here we made money already yesterday. And we're still in. So that you can see that we stick to the rules, or we stuck yesterday to the rules: movement, correction, move, correction. So there was the correction. First, there was the balance candle we got in, and then the correction extended to the upper side, and then boom, you know, 86% probability. Reach point 2, I sold half the position, I trailed my stop into the profit right now. In DAX, I had the problem, I was in a coaching yesterday, and this was a technical stuff. I missed to trail the stop loss into the end, into the break even at the point. So my fault. Okay, so oil, it's a little bit tricky today because we expect the numbers, the data this afternoon at 4:30, I guess. So therefore, stop loss is in profit, nothing can happen. Yeah, we made money, and that's the coolest thing. So if the price is jumping up, because we are in the red zone, we can try, or we can use a next re-entry. Then Dow Jones in hourly chart. It's still an uptrend. And by the way, that's the new downtrend. So that's the new downtrend with this move. That's the point 2. So yeah, there was the trend continuation. So correction, trend continuation, valid trend, correction, that point. Now we extend the correction. Yeah. So there was no trend continuation. Okay. This point 2, point 2, point 3. So as long as the price will not go higher than the point 3, this downtrend is still valid. And you know, point of control is 34,584. So, and then we can expect that a trend continuation, you know, is always more likely than a trend break. So just wait for a proper balance candle, and then maybe you can set a catastrophic order to the lower side. But actually the price is going up, so it's not a need to set the pending order right now. So I see questions here. Let's see. I have 2 questions. First one is about volume profile. How many percents you said value area? It's 70%. I said 70%. And second question is why you decide cancel some rules and left only 4. I mean, master market, old market project. Oh, sorry, I don't know that's market profile. That's the rules. They are based on the Dow theory. Yeah. That's not my rules. That's the rules of the Dow theory, and I didn't cancel anything. If I don't know the master market project from Admirals, And you know that project? I don't know it. Okay. So, logical rules, you know, it's not, I guess it's not a need to have too much rules, by the way. So then it's EURUSD. It's EURUSD, and we still have we don't have a trend because the trend break is there. We have this big move and a correction. And since then we have nothing. Okay. So, and as long as you don't have anything, rule number one, you need a trend. Without a trend, NT, no trend, no trade. Okay. So, by the way, guys, if you want to have more information, by the way, for gold or something else, then you will find it here on YouTube. And here the session. Okay, now I want to have it here right now. So you will find below that video, you will find a lot of links here. Practice with Admirals, subscribe for more episodes, all the other things you will find it here. Market news, premium analytics, and about MetaTrader and something else. So you, after the show, you can click on it and then you get to the homepage, and then it's fine. So you will never miss any news about that. So I have a question for you. And Anna, if you want, we can open the question of today. And my question is, drum roll, question is, what is the only reason that prices rise or fall? What do you think? You have three choices: news, indicators, or volume. So, and hopefully you have learned a little bit in the last sessions here. So what is the only reason that prices rise or fall? News, indicators, or volume? So what do you think? And while you think about that, I'm going through the rest of the charts and maybe new trading ideas. So first of all, we have to manage our trades. And this is Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. And we need, that's in 4-hourly chart. So we are on track. And yesterday we reached almost the 0.2. And we can set an alert there. Trading alert, and we can modify it and give it a nice second, 3 minutes. Okay, because when I reach the 0.2, I won't sell half of my position. Yeah, so the price is going really deep. And it's not a need that you will have a loss here. So at the moment, just let it go. Next one, Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. Still on track, because you see we are on track back to the point of control. Trend is still valid, nothing to do. Euro, Australian dollar. Coming back a little bit, but that's the normal behavior, you know. Normal behavior is that after the last move, we will have the next correction. So there is just an interesting idea. You can think about it. Is it a good idea to go out of a trend, completely out of a trade, if you reach 0.2? And maybe so in this case, for example, you see, you have trend candles, trend, and then a balance candle. Is it a good idea to cancel or to cut the trade there and to get out? And not the market, not let the market decide how much money you will get. Is this a rule? Yes or no? No, guys, it's not. It's just up to you. It's only on you. So if you decide, so maybe this thing here, we had a partial profit, and then the price is going up and up and up. So, and you decide to go out maybe there. It's absolutely correct. But in this case, you have to make a re-entry. And you see a re-entry where possible exactly here. And you reach the point 2 again. So this is a kind of working style. You can do it by your own. You can decide, okay, no, I trade a stop into the profit and let it go because I expect more trends or more trend arms. Then it's just up to you. Or you can only use this move. Yeah, this move up, out, next. The point is, if you go out and maybe you are in a third trend arm and the fourth trend arm will not give you a signal because the correction is hanging in the air and is jumping up, then you are not in. And this is the problem with that. So you have to make the plan before, and you have to accept the inevitable thing that sometimes the trend is working without of you, because jumping into the market without rules, it's not allowed for a private trader. You can do it, by the way, and you can make an entry at a point 2, but it's a bit of difficult. Okay, so just an idea to think about. Until you have the fourth trend arm. After the fourth trend arm, it's not allowed anymore. So Euro New Zealand dollar, we got out because it was a small loss, but the trend is still valid. And we cannot miss the re-entry. So that's the trend. Move, correction, move, correction. And you see, we had the first entry there. Partial profit there, stop loss there, into the profit. There was the profit. So we see that's the point 2. And actually, there is no trend continuation. So, and the trend will break here. That's the last point 3. There, the trend will break. That's point 3. That's an old point 2. Okay, so as long as we cannot see the trend break, we have to speculate that with the next balance candle, we have to make a re-entry. That's a duty. Absolutely, because the probability is still 86% that we will have a price above the last point 2. And we have to work with that probability. You cannot know what happens. If the price is going down and will break the trend, then it's not longer a trend. Then it's over. But as long as we are in this trend, in this valid trend, we have to do it again. So keep it in the watch list, Euro New Zealand dollar, by the way. Euro British pound, we opened a sell position yesterday, and you see it's a bit different to mine. So Euro British pound, there we are. Here we go. Yeah, here, British pound, Euro British pound. Okay, how active trade. So you see, it's the volume profile, it's a bit different. Here you see, we are in the red zone, which means we have place to go. And in MetaTrader, we have a different market profile because there we are deep in the lower green zone. But realize, please, there is the point of control in MetaTrader. And here is the point of control in AgenaTrader. So it's not wrong. It's not a mistake in the setup. It's just about the data feed. Because in AgenaTrader, you have a different data feed from MetaTrader. So everything is fine. It's a logical thinking that you can see, okay, there is maybe it's just a couple of hours that the point of control will switch or will move to the lower side. But as long, you know, the rules or the price is not a part of the rules. We have to work with probabilities. So therefore, we opened the trade yesterday because we realized, okay, there's a cool trend. And at the moment, you see, that's the trend. Move, correction, move, correction. So there was the balance candle. We got in and target is 0.2. And then we are cool with it. If we reach 0.2, get out, half the position, or maybe wait. Maybe you can set an alert. it's a cool thing to maybe set an alert there at this point too, and to see what happens there. So let's do it in that way, set an alert, because if you have a trend candle which breaks through to the point two, why you should get out. So wait, and that's a big benefit of swing traders. There is no hurry. You don't have to get in rush, because wait, let it break through. If you have balanced candles at the point two, then make partial profits, trail the stop into profit, and everything's fine. But as long as you have trend candles which breaks through the point two, let it go, let it run, and take whatever the market will give you. That's a good idea. And after the breakthrough, you have at any time a balanced candle, then you can cut it. Or you can get out completely, whatever it is, and use the next correction. Yeah, we will train it here in the show a bit. So US dollar, Canadian dollar, just going up. And we have to realize, guys, there is, I can see it, yes. There is a downtrend. So the main trend is still facing upwards. Look, that's the main trend. We started here and we have an open trend, by the way. So that's the main trend. Movement correction. So that's the one. We have this and this and this and this. So last correction zone, this. Therefore, trend, my stop loss is below that. But now I have to realize, guys, that we have a downtrend too. Oh, that's not. Move, correction, move, correction. And now look, there is a balance candle. Yeah, which means, guys, we have to act right now because we are deep in profit with our running trade. But now we are within the red zone. It's an old uptrend. And we have to realize, okay, this is it's trend in the other direction. So what can we do? I do this. I trail my stop right now below that balance candle. And if I will get out, I open a position to the lower side because this trend has its own probability to reach the point two. And if I will reach this point two, I'm safe. And then trail the stop into profit and let it go. Okay, this is my behavior in US dollar, Canadian dollar. So how do you spot reversal or trend when broke trend line or by indicators? I don't use indicators, just my market profile. And then if you can draw the trend properly, you see where is the point two, and the trend break is always at the point three. And if I have a trend break, then I have a new trend. And then I don't work with such things with like reversal or something else. Either I have a trend or I don't have a trend. And either I have a long trend or a short trend. That's all. So, and then we have an open position in US dollar, Japanese yen. And guys, we reached point two. Cool, right? So stop loss is in profit. So what was the trend? That was the trend. That's the trend. Move, correction, move, correction. So that was the first shot. And you know, after the price were there, I decided to trail my stop into profit. So I had a small profit. So then next, we had the next balance candle. So I did it again. And we reached point two and make partial profits. And at the same time, we had the trend continuation. And unfortunately, with the rest, yeah, I got out. So this was a zero game. That here, this trade was a zero game. This was a small winner. So then we saw the correction, the trend, but the trend was still valid. And we decided to, after this balance candle here again, I decided to open a trend two because the probability was again 60, around 80, 70, 80% to reach that point two again. And yes, we see a trend continuation. And then I trailed the stop into profit. So I cannot lose money. And this is a kind of working style. So, and now let the market decide. Maybe if you say, I get out completely, it's fine. But then think about, this is the 1, 2, 3. The next one is the 4th trend arm, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4th trend arm. Okay, but point of control is still on the lower side. Yeah, but don't miss the re-entry if you will get out completely. It's just working style, no more, no less. So my topic today, guys, for the last 5 minutes is, you know, we want to talk about range trading. So what is range trading? And I asked you yesterday about range trading. So actually, we cannot predict the market. So, but the only thing what we can predict and what we can work is the price. So, and if you have an asset with an unjustified price, there is a bigger chance that this will lead to a correction, because every price will be balanced after a while, up and down. So what is range, or what is a range basically? So think a bit in a logical way. What is a range? A range is always with 2 borders, not time range, just price range, with a border on the upper and the lower side. That's a range. Okay, people are used to trade range with going short on the upper side and going long on the lower side. So when you can see a range, that's really interesting. So let's see if we will find there a range, maybe. Oh, thanks, Doc. Thanks, Dax. So if we can see a range, maybe, then you can see there is a range. Look, maybe that was a range. That was a completely range here. So, but when you can see this range just after a while, so which means that's the upper border, 1, 2, 3 on the lower side, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, and people use this kind of trading with going short there or there and going long there and there and there, with a target always at the opposite direction. This is a range, and this is a kind of range trading. Can you trade it? Of course, you can do whatever you want. But before you trade such a range, make a back test that you can figure out, is it profitable? You know, as a private trader, you cannot affect, you cannot influence the price. So before you use a special strategy, you should make a back test in every chart. And next one, be careful with that, because it's just your perception. So maybe, let me give you this example. You have 2 traders, index. So you are the trader in 10 minutes and you say, okay, let's trade the range. And the guy next to you, this guy is working in daily chart. And this guy say, okay, sorry, where is the range? Or maybe you have a guy, this guy is working DAX in weekly chart. And this guy say, okay, sorry, where is a range? I cannot see a range. It's just a correction in a valid trend. So where do you see a range? Yeah, I can see it in 10 minutes. It's in your 10 minutes. I trade weekly chart. I cannot see a range. You see, what I want to point it out with that is that be careful with that. It's indeed just your perception if you see a bit of range. Yes, please be careful with that. The better thing is you trade with the trend. That's the better thing in trading. How to handle a stop loss outside of range? Yeah, that's the point. And this is why it is so difficult to trade ranges, So if you trade a range and you go short, then maybe you have the stop loss above the range. If you go long, you have it below. But you have to figure out a plan. And before you do that, by the way, again, before you do that, please make a back test. Otherwise, it's just the result is just on coincidence. And this is what you have to learn about range trading and what is a range basically. So we had this poll of the day, and you know what's the only reason to the prices rise or fall? News, indicators, volume. I know the only question is volume. Prices rises or fall just only on the volume, because this is the only measurable thing you can see in the order book, the price and the volume. And if you have more volume on the buyer side, prices rise. If you have more volume of the seller side, a price falls down. That's the only reason, not news, because in the order book, you cannot find news. No time frame, no news, no indicators, nothing, just price and volume. And in the order book, you find not a row where you can type in or the column where you can type in why or who. Not information like that, just only volume. So the only proper answer about that is just volume. Thanks, guys. I want to say thank you. I'm just almost in time. I wish you a lovely day. And as always, have courage and be kind. And may the force of the rules be